It is Rachael and John, your Jagoff Late Night. Welcome back. And if you're listening for the first time, watching for the first time, we would appreciate you come and join us, 5 Foster Plaza, around 4:30 every Friday night. We're hanging out here, and you would see there's a whole audience here, and they get to eat or drink something.
And be merry.
Right.
But also, we are merry because if you are reading our blog posts every week, you will see that strawberry jello pretzel salad is back. And we're so excited, so much so that we have a t-shirt. And people are buying them already.
Right. So
it's all for good causes.
It's the standoff. It happens at the Block Northway, May 16th. It's the kickoff for summer, because this is what your Aunt Ninny used to make and bring to every...
Who is Aunt Ninny?
I don't know.
I need to find this out because I saw
up.
that on the blog. Yeah.
And so it is a classic, Pittsburgh classic. So come and celebrate it. It's made in many different ways, and then you get to vote for a nonprofit who will win $1,000, and there's a bigger prize.
The purveyor who wins, the People's Choice, gets to go on Pittsburgh Today Live. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah. Thanks to PTL for, I know, right?
This year we've actually upped it to 500 tickets, because last year we were over 400, and
we're not turning people away.
More. That's right.
The other thing that was on the blog was our very own KDK news anchor, David Balloratto, and he showed us a shopping cart Jag in Oakland.
Yes, and this is not unique to the Jagoff blog. Part of it is we call out if you're being a Jagoff.
We have to.
And the picture was, you'll see it here if you're watching the video, is that somebody took a cart and literally walked it about 5 feet away from the cart corral, and left it.
Stupid.
Like, you couldn't just take the
Jag.
extra steps,
Total
right?
Jag.
It's amazing that we're all that lazy that they had to hire people to round up our carts.
Either that, or they pushed it from 20 yards away, and it only went 15.
Right.
Scott, I've
looking
seen that.
for the spare or the strike.
Listen, we have to get to that voice. It is Scott Baker. If you are from Pittsburgh, you certainly know 5 Generation Bakers, and we're really excited to talk to him because he has a really cool collab. But before we get there, John and I like to talk about JAG BRAG, a JAG tag, or a straight up JAG off. I'm going to go back to the JAG BRAG. Tracy was on here about 3 episodes ago telling everybody that for my 50th birthday, I am going to be at Jurgles with Totally 80s singing a song, and I want you to decide what is the song. So here are the 4 that Totally 80s gave me to choose. It is either We Got the Beat, I Think We're Alone Now, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, or Material Girl.
No teasers on it? Come on, I'll say them.
Hit me with your best shot.
Material Girl.
Fire away.
Material Girl.
Yeah. Oh. Thinking a material girl. Material.
We got the beat.
Oh, we got the beat. We got the
and
beat.
I Think We're Alone Now.
I think we're alone.
So those
now.
are your samples. Message us and tell us what you think Rachel should sing. Go to the show on April 18th at Jurgles. You got to buy a ticket, but we will have a special area that we're all going to hang out and celebrate Rachel's almost 50th that night.
All right, now what are we celebrating?
Now we're celebrating Scott Baker, 5 Generation Bakers. You've been around 5 generations.
Well,
now
he has not.
151.
Now you're
Okay.
adding something to your mix, which is super cool. But first, explain to everybody who might be living under a rock that doesn't know Jennie Lee or 5 Generation
Sure.
Bakers.
So 5 Generation Bakers is a literal term. My family has been baking for Pittsburgh since 1875. 5 generations of bakers and baker's goodness. It's been passed down from father to son 5 times now.
Wow.
Amazing.
Absolutely
you don't hear
cool.
that really often. Do you know the statistics on that? Or there
it's incredibly rare for a business to be successful between 2nd and 3rd generations because it's just too far off of what the original founder wanted. It's even more rare for it to go to the 4 and 5 generation. But I got to tell you, the 5 Generation Baker's name is something that I created 16 years ago to try to get me to the front of the line with banks and people that might be lending money. Maybe they'll think I have a little credibility because my business is called 5 Generations.
You're clever.
Well done.
Very smart.
It didn't work.
Yeah, understood.
But our brand is Jennie Lee, and anybody that's been in Pittsburgh for a minute knows Jennie Lee. It's iconic as Mancini's and Turner, T, or Iron City, or Jagoff. So,
well done.
Well,
we appreciate that.
So,
but your dad still works at the bakery,
Love
which is
him.
super cool.
My dad is 80 years old, and I cannot get him to retire. My mom is, Pittsburgh term, pissed off at me because Dad works, but he just loves it. It's really his fuel. It keeps him young. He comes in 3 days a week. 4 if I need him to. Sure. He'll be in tomorrow morning to let an electrician in the door at 5:30 in the morning. I couldn't ask for a better guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
And part of this business has has had to evolve. You
For
know,
sure.
so many
Right,
different things
right.
and different products, and even the way you bake and everything. But you have a collaboration now, right?
Yeah. So we've got a lot of different collaborations going on, and really what is leading to our announcement today. And really, this is the first time we're breaking the news on
Boom,
this.
boom, boom.
John, thank you for that. Jennie Lee, that's the brand that everybody knows. Five Generation Bakers is a commercial bakery. We don't sell things there. We sell in Giant Eagles and Shop and Saves and Eden Parks. But last year, I opened up the Jennie Lee Breakfast Nook. It's our first step and foray back into having a place where you can go and get those baked goods that people remember. For years, for 18 years, people would say, when are you going to make the Jennie Lee cream puffs again?
Crawlers.
The eclairs.
The eclairs, the
Right,
apple pies. And, I'm like... You
I
want
don't
to
know.
invest in her? Well, why'd you close the retail? Not because we were making too much money.
Right.
I mean, it was a different time in the early 2000s, and it was just not a successful business model. And then we had the pandemic, or not the pandemic, I'm sorry, the Great Recession of '08, and it just put too many challenges to operate that type of business. But now things have shifted again, and this restaurant, we're getting incredible reviews. I've got some phenomenal partners. You guys might know one of them, Jack Hunt.
I knew you would do it.
We were named one of Pittsburgh's top 10 restaurants of 2025. I'm so proud of that. But more so, I'm proud of my team that made that happen. RJ Carabia is just an incredible chef and just a young talent in the kitchen. And so now with this Jennie Lee Breakfast Nook, people even more so are saying, when is the baked goods coming back? And so I can make some announcements about that tonight. And John, this is the part where I talk a long time. So
Yes,
I can
all
eat
right.
something.
Pass over some food. Yeah.
That's well done.
First, on this plate right here, try these crumb cakes. So if you all remember Jennie Lee coffee cakes, it was one of our biggest segments of sales. The coffee cakes were it's something you take home, you cut it, you drink it with a cup of coffee, right? We're bringing these back. In fact, we've had test samples of these in the stores for the last several weeks. I can't keep them on the shelf. I cannot keep them on the shelf. The other thing,
So
now
good,
right
not
there,
dry at all. You know how some honestly,
Yeah,
some coffee
sure.
cakes, people are like, but it's not. It's phenomenal.
and I was actually supposed to be on your JAG podcast last Friday. These have been sitting on my desk for a week. So I'm glad you said that.
I love
That's
that we
a
have
good
your
cake.
week-old
That's
stuff,
a good
Scott. You're
cake.
like, I'm seeing the Jags. I'm bringing my week-old stuff. No, I'm
Right.
just kidding. It's phenomenal.
Right.
And now the cookies that you're eating, we brought back the Jennie Lee butter cutout cookies. This machine is older than my dad that we make these cookies on. My dad is the only one that knows how to run it. 80-year-old Bernie is down there, pressing the dough into the mold and it's all butter. It's just phenomenal melt in your mouth cookies.
You said that after I was thinking, wow, can I finish the cookie?
Yeah.
Too many calories. But
One
that's
more
okay.
item
It's
on our
Easter
plate.
time.
What is that?
But
Well,
let's
so
remind
the-
everybody before he goes to that, it is John and Rachael, your Jag Off Late Night, and we are with Scott Baker, who is telling us about all of the yummy things that he has for Easter. So go ahead, Scott.
The last item that I'm sampling with you guys today, this is the maple bacon cinnamon bread. We launched this week on QVC on Wednesday. It finally debuted. This bread came about as a joke. It was a joke. On April Fool's Day, the pandemic year 2020, we put a label of maple cinnamon swirl bread, and our social media just blew up. People wanted it, and then they realized it was April Fool's Day. But fast forward 6 years later, we can't work with real bacon because we're a bakery, not a USDA inspected plant. So we use bacon bits. But we partnered with a family business, Bissell Family Maple Farms. They're in Northeast Ohio. They've been around for 6 generations.
Oh, wow.
Nate and his dad, Dave Bissell, create. I found out a unique stat. It takes 50 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup.
Oh, wow.
By the time
I
you
did not
boil
know
it
that.
down and boil it down and boil it down.
Wow.
The maple is fantastic. I'm a
it's-
huge maple. I've decided I'm a maple.
And that's what
Beets and maple, not together.
We call it the maple bacon cinnamon bread because we want it to be nose forward maple.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I can
It's
smell
really
the
good.
maple in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, that's my cologne.
Scott, where can everybody find out more information? Because there's so much happening, so many other collabs.
Yes. JennieLeeSwirlBread.com is our website. We are plastered all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's generally you can find under Jennie Lee Swirl Bread or Jennie Lee Swirls, and then Jennie Lee Breakfast Nook. Also, if you want to find us in person, go to Moon Township. We're in a corner of Broadhead and Schaefer, 1014 Broadhead, Moon Township. It was for Tangelo Gardens for 30 years, and now it's just this fabulous breakfast diner.
Nice. All right, Scott, we appreciate you coming. We're going to come back, but first we have to pitch out to a TV writer icon from the Trib Live. It's Rob Owen with today's TV Bites.
You're tuned into TV Talk at triblive.com. I'm Rob Owen. My kids are on spring break this week, so I'm coming to you from a family vacation in Tallinn, Estonia, part of our Nordics Baltics tour that began in Sweden and ends in Finland. My family enjoys playing Google Flights Roulette, where you go to Google Flights, enter your departure airport and dates, and it shows airfares around the world. When we booked last fall, this was what was on sale, so here we are. In this week's TV Talk column, I go behind the scenes to explain how some TV shows are often filmed out of order, a cost-saving measure that requires concentration on the part of actors. For instance, if a scene films interiors of a farmhouse on a stage and exteriors on location, and the actor goes through the farmhouse door from inside on the stage to outside on a set on location, the first part of the scene may film months before the second part. This week in TV Talk, we also bid farewell to WTAE investigative reporter Paul Van Osdol, who announced his retirement. And in TV Q&A, a viewer wonders if WTAE has selected a new morning traffic reporter. Stay tuned in with TV Talk at triblive.com and in the pages of the Tribune Review.
Welcome back to You Jag Off Late Night. It is really important to John and I, especially because we talk so often about local media and its importance. And we are so proud that we are a part of the Pittsburgh Media Partnership. And we are so proud of these amazing news sources that we have in our city, especially Public Source. You've heard us reference them and talk about them before. And we want to make it a point that we have local journalists come on and talk about all the great things that they're doing in our community. So welcome our friends from Public Source, Halle and Jennie.
Hi, nice to be here.
We're so glad that you guys are here. And like I said, it's been a while in the making.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't sing a Bare Naked Ladies song right there. It's been
see where how many weeks?
This is Rachel's game. She knows every phrase.
Myself,
well, that would be the game show later. No, but I think we were talking off camera about Rich Lord and his iconic answer to one of our questions
yes.
on the radio. We won't go that far with you, ladies. So
let's not share.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Public Source in general for somebody who's not involved, doesn't
in the know.
understand. Yeah.
So Public Source is an independent, nonprofit, nonpartisan news organization. We've been around since 2011 and have changed a lot over time. But I'd say in our recent chapter, we're very focused on both deep community storytelling, really engaging with people. Sometimes they're telling their own stories directly. Sometimes they're telling them to our reporters, and they're infusing that into stories about broader topics. And we're also doing accountability and investigative journalism that's informed by all of that.
And that's so important.
Well, and that's what I learned, because I'm not the trained journalist, but as the newspapers and news outlets start to fall apart, Jennie, we need somebody to check and balance. I never really understood that until I got involved in the PMP.
And I'm also not a trained journalist.
Right.
I lead business operations, but I like to call myself the biggest fan.
Okay,
I'm just the super reader, the biggest fan, and I tell the story of Public Source.
But you're so much more than that, because we met you at the PMP last January, I believe. And what I was so moved by, I don't want to say impressed, it was impressive, but I was so moved by the fact, I didn't even need my notes. I was so moved by the fact that you are a supporter, but you are making sure you're getting in and asking the questions from that supporting role. You wanted to make sure that there were many organizations represented. You don't want to just speak on behalf of a male, a female, a person with disabilities, a certain culture. You are really kind of keeping that checks and balances system in place. I noticed that, and I love that. And I've seen so much with Public Source moving forward that you are covering so many different stories. What is behind that? You guys are coming off of what, a 7 community series that you did? Talk a little bit about that. Who wants to tackle that one?
I'll start. And so we decided when all the news about the local media landscape was coming out, and honestly, a lot of people were panicking. They were thinking, "There's no news left." It's just not the case,
Right.
and yet, we wanted to take the time to ask people, well, what do you actually want in local news? It's more people than ever were paying attention to it, and so instead of us sitting there and talking about the industry, let's talk to people about what they want, so that what we're doing actually is relevant.
Right. That it's connecting with the people. Jennie, what were some of the findings?
Well, we hosted 7 listening sessions in
Crazy.
7 days. I am not sure that I would recommend doing 7 events in 7 days, but it was fun.
And then you slept on the 8th day. Yes,
Exactly. We went all around the city and the county. We were in East Liberty, Beachview, Bellevue, and we learned a lot. People are really focused on community, being with each other, building connection with each other, and they see journalism as a way to do that.
Yeah.
Accountability came up a lot. People want help holding their elected officials accountable, holding local businesses accountable, but they don't just want to look at their news from that lens. They also want good news. They want the positives. They want to know what's going on in their communities. So it was a really wide variety of findings.
And citizen journalism has become really a thing because podcast recording, people can go on and write blogs. How do you differentiate as far as, we want to involve the citizen journalist, right? But how do we kind of make sure that we're getting journalism out of that?
Well, first of all, that was one of the big takeaways is we were having people in the room say, who here identifies as a journalist, so that the community members could say, could know who they were talking to. And way more people than we thought were raising their hands as a journalist. And it's because some of them were just they're going to meetings and they're sharing information for their communities because nobody else is doing it. And so, I think that we're doing a lot of thinking about how we can welcome that, how we can equip people to do that. And we do need to evolve with how people are actually consuming information, a lot of times through social media platforms, and not look down on that. Let's make it better.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do is offer the opportunity for people to write essays with the help of our editors. We do pay for that, and it's really a great way for folks to start writing, to get their first clip, and tell their own story. Usually it has a personal element and a community element to it. And it's been very popular, some of our most popular stories on our website.
Yeah. Do you also take on the task of teaching folks what is journalism, though, versus somebody publishing a story about my neighbor's driveway or something like that?
Because let's face it, the lines are blurred. That's a great question. The lines are blurred anymore.
I've been in a lot of high school classes doing this, and I think that it's needed much more than I can do. And I think that I'm sure there are others who are trying to do that too. And we heard about the parents at these sessions saying we need media literacy. They're kind of freaked out by what their kids think. So absolutely.
And the rise of misinformation, disinformation.
Yes.
It's hard even for us. We see things online and really have to work hard.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to us a little bit about the zines. What is that? You guys are just hip and young and you just say zine. Yeah.
So a zine is like a mini magazine, mini publication, and it can take all kinds of forms. It could just be this paper folded in 8 different ways, and you have little images or words or poetry. The way that we do it is it does kind of present as just like a miniature magazine, and we're going out into different neighborhoods, and we are doing great photojournalism. We're pulling demographics so that people can understand who makes up this place that we call home.
Yeah.
We're doing enterprise stories that are kind of delving into the history, but also the future and hopes for a neighborhood.
And what we know is that sometimes looking at Pittsburgh as a city or Allegheny County as the county or the region can feel a little bit big and overwhelming for people. And sometimes to see your own story in a piece of journalism, it has to get a little bit closer to home. It has to touch, especially in this city with 90 neighborhoods and our county with so many municipalities, it has to touch the place where you live, for it to really resonate, for it to feel like it's relevant to you. And that's part of the zine strategy.
Yeah,
you guys have a great story right now about the draft coming to town here, right? Now, we would love to have everybody know where to find you, but we can't let you answer that question and tell everybody where to find you unless you answer our Rohrich Honda question of the day. Are you guys up for that?
Sure.
We did not email these two, because we think of it on the fly.
So this is kind of related to the draft. All right. It's so when you're up front and then you have your car windows down, either cracked or down, are you the person?
This is hard hitting.
Because, for a draft, right? Do you make sure that the back window is down so it doesn't whistle, or no, you just like having the front window up?
This guy.
Back window has to be cracked.
Yeah?
I do sides.
Okay.
The opposite side has to be.
Opposite
way too
sides.
serious for this.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
Really
I love
into
it. They
his-
took on the question. All right. Because
The kids are not allowed to crack one window. Not allowed.
Because you answered our Rohrich Honda question today, please tell everybody where they find you.
You can find us at publicsource.org, but also on all the social media platforms that you're on, especially Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. It has been a pleasure. I'm glad we have to do this more often. Come back quarterly. Tell us what you're working on.
Offer me a
All
beer,
the big
and I'll tell you the
stories.
Rich Lord story.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, we love having you guys, and seriously, we appreciate what you're doing for the communities, and we hope to see more of these community type series because we think it's important. Maybe not 7 in a row. We'll just pick
One
and
at a
choose
time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, you
Thank
know what
you.
comes next. Like you answered our Rohrich Honda question of the day. You know what comes next? The game show.
Bum, bum, bum.
They were a little nervous about the game show.
It's easy. It's John and Rachael, you Jag Off Late Night.
I became a member of Local 5 when a fellow coworker of mine, a friend, was organizing in, and he had recommended me to get in touch and go through the same process. Well, being someone that's been on both sides of the fence, being non-union for years and then coming to Local 5, I can see from the perspective of someone that wants to organize in and also from the perspective that someone has been in the union. It feels good to point someone in the right direction knowing that if they make that step that they will be happy with it. I'm Braden, journeyman wireman, IBAW Local 5. Join me.
All right, it's John and Rachael. Back to you, Jag Off Late Night. You know I love game show on the go, but I got to tell you, John Chamberlain came up with this night's one. John, how are you feeling about this? Do you feel good? Because I gave you a compliment.
I think this is going to be fun. Let's do it. But we have to see some junk drawer items first, right?
True story. All right, we will start with Halle and Jennie. So it's not like a prerequisite, but we do ask that you go rummage through your junk drawer or drawers, and then give us something. That's literally how you get on the Jag Off podcast. So start with Halle. Halle, what did you bring us?
I brought you a little fidget bracelet
I love
in
it.
various colors.
Do you pop them or no? They're just...
Yeah, you put it on and then you just work out all that anxiety.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good one. That is fantastic. Okay, Jennie, I may have overheard that it was tough for you to find something. What did you find?
I brought you a very tiny public source sticker. Oh, very small.
That is the best part is whenever people are like, oh, this might work. And it's something that's like promoting. I love it because that's smart. You have to be your own promotional person. Scott, we didn't tell you. So you found something. What did
Junk
you
drawer
find?
items. Let me just see what I got in my pocket here.
Oh.
I got you scissors that don't work.
And they're dull.
Plastic silverware that
Okay.
my wife says, even though we've got a drawer full of real silverware.
Of course.
And some change.
Some change. I mean, who doesn't have that? That's always in the back of my drawer. I have multiple drawers, so I appreciate that. All right. Friends who... Oh, he said... Oh, not funny, not funny. All right. Tell us. No one has met our musicians yet, so please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tara.
Sean.
Tara and Sean, what did you bring us from your junk drawer at home?
I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's like a New Year's countdown and went on like a cupcake or something
Oh.
from some random celebration.
That's
Couldn't
really
tell
old.
you
That's
what
from
year.
The year 321.
Sure.
Very, very smart. I love it. You guys, in the spirit of what the junk drawer items are, somebody told us we need to do just an episode on junk drawer items because we have gotten things like pregnancy tests. So we'll have to see. Yes.
Hopefully not
That
used.
could
Not
take
mine.
that
Yeah.
could take a turn
Yeah, it was
quickly.
used.
So,
Yes, right,
yeah.
right. Pretty gross. So anyway, thank you so much for playing along. John, I'm going to let you explain the nature of the game since you came up with it.
Okay, so basically it's draft season, and you have to tell us, when we tell you the name of the game, would you draft John or Rachael? All right, so you have to figure out, kind of look in our eyes, see if we're going to. Now, we have to make sure we speed through this because then we'll have to give you all the right answers because I'm going to keep score while Rachael asks the questions. Somebody's going to go home with Scott Baker.
That is literally, we have some partying gifts and they're Jennie Lee. That's all we're sending home with. Yeah, there's really not a prize. It's just a fun thing. Okay, so we will go down the line. We will start with our musicians, Sean and Tara. If you were drafting for a no GPS team to get you around the city, who would you choose, John or Rachael?
I'd choose Rachael.
Okay.
Because you seem to know what's
I'm
happening.
in the know. I'm in the know.
Yeah.
Scott Baker.
Okay, so with John, he's from the Rocks, so he knows where to deliver all the drugs. Rachel's dad has played in every music venue in the city, so I'm going with Rachael.
Ooh, okay. Our friends from Public Source.
We're going with John on this one because
Johnny.
maybe might have had more years without the GPS.
Zinga!
Is that a gray hair joke?
How would Howie Mandel feel about that joke?
Shots fired.
So John is keeping score. Next up, if you were drafting, we'll go to Public Source. If you were drafting for a movie trivia team, who would you draft, John or Rachael? Movie trivia.
Rachael.
Okay. Scott.
I don't even know why. I'm just going to go with John on this one.
Okay.
Same, John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Team John on that.
Okay. Yeah. If you, we'll go back to, actually, Scott, we'll start with you. If you were drafting for a hard-boiled egg eating contest, who would you draft, John or Rachael? Who's the better?
The guys have better gastronomical skills, so I'm going with John.
Okay.
I'm going to steal his answer.
John?
That sounded
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, John.
Okay. I love this. So back to our musicians. If you were drafting for a New Edition trivia team, who would you draft, John or Rachael?
New Edition?
Yes, the band. Just on tour with Bobby Brown and
Just
Johnny
from your enthusiasm, I'll go with you. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Could I be throwing you off though? Brum, brum, brum.
New addition to the house?
New Edition in the house. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Rachael because
Okay.
you probably have better design skills.
There you go.
Absolutely, Rachael.
Okay, I love it. If you were drafting for a broccoli eating contest, which one of us would you draft? We will start with Public Source. This is broccoli. Who are we going with?
50-50 on this one. Rachael. We did hard-boiled eggs for John, so
I'm the eater. Okay, so you're going with John for broccoli?
no.
Me
You
for broccoli.
yeah.
Okay. Scott?
Well, revisit my earlier comment about gastronomical skills, except John does not eat vegetables, so I'm going with Rachael.
Ah.
Now that we know that.
We'll go with Rachael.
Okay. Okay. If you were drafting for The Office, do we all know The Office sitcom? Okay. If you if you know the sitcom, okay? If you were drafting for an Office trivia team, which one of us would you draft? Musicians.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rachael? Okay. Scott?
Well, I think John's running the whole office, so let's go with John.
Remember when I liked Scott Baker? Does everybody remember this? It was a couple minutes ago. Friends from Public Source.
Rachael.
Okay. Last one. If you were drafting for Eminem, the performer, not the candy that you eat, for Eminem, who would you draft? Trivia. I'm sorry, Eminem. If you were drafting for Eminem trivia, which one of us would you draft? Scott Baker.
Eminem is usually one of my walkout songs. So, but hearing you sing earlier, Rachael, my pick is you.
I love this. Trace, everybody thinks I'm all right. You're just the only one who told me I suck. All right, friends from the musician world.
What if John, growing up in the Rocks, was like me and Manessa in old school hip hop, and he continued his journey to Eminem, and we don't know it?
I mean, you just called Eminem old school, but
He
okay,
is.
sure. Yeah,
John's getting a ton of
sure. We'll go with
We're
John.
gonna go with John.
Absolutely, sure.
We're gonna go with John.
Public Source.
John.
Okay. So here are some fun things we will tell you about. This is so funny. You can relay the scores.
All right, so do we want? No, I'm not telling you who won yet, but I will tell you that the no GPS team, you lose with Rachael because
I'm the worst.
she barely gets out of the car and goes to the right, opening a giant eagle.
That's why Johnny
all
kept
right.
laughing this
Yes.
year. Yeah.
If you were drafting for a movie trivia team, definitely not me. The last movie I saw was Slapshot in 1972. All right.
Okay.
If you were drafting for a hard-boiled egg eating contest, they make me gag, so you'd be wanting Rachael.
0 for 3.
Thanks.
Right?
If you were drafting for a New Edition trivia team, you would definitely want Rachael. Everybody got that one. Everybody got Rachael.
New Edition's like my favorite. In fact, for my 50th, I really wanted to go to Cincinnati or Cleveland to see them, and I missed them on tour.
Oh no.
There you go. If you were drafting for a broccoli eating contest, nobody got that right. It would be me. I love broccoli. I love broccoli. I love broccoli. See, I stuck my gut out, so when you were answering that, you would say like, "Oh, he doesn't eat vegetables." All right. If you were drafting for an office show trivia team, definitely would be Rachael. Her family watched, and I love the humor of it. I've just never taken time to know it. All right. If you were drafting for an M&M trivia team, John's your guy. John's your guy. So,
as let me follow up to that. John's two favorite on his playlist: Lizzo and Eminem. I mean, who would have thunk it? This guy, right?
And what's number 3? The Mills Brothers. I'm very diverse. I'm very diverse in my music choices. All right. So what that tells me is
Last place.
Yeah, Scott, you got 1 point.
Prize though. So.
Team Band, you got 2 points,
and the baked goods.
Team Public Source got 5 points. Whoa! There you go. There you go.
We appreciate you guys playing. This game show has been so much fun, and you're getting to know all of our nuances more and more. So we appreciate you guys joining in. There really isn't a gift, except we have some great food back there for you, thanks to Scott Baker, who lost dreadfully. But we appreciate you all playing along, so thank you. And next up, we get to actually chat with our musician friends, learn a little bit more about them, and hear a song. It is John and Rachael, You Jag Off Late Night.
It's John and Rachael. Rachael turns 50 this year, but even more important is America turns 250, right, Cassandra?
Yes, our semi-quincentennial.
Tell us, now we're in the throes of it all.
Yeah.
What is happening? What can we expect?
We have lots of great stuff going on, especially here in Western Pennsylvania. We can now officially say the Commonwealth Concert Series, 5 concerts, 5 regions. One is coming right here to Pittsburgh, Point State Park, June 27th. So we do encourage folks to go to our website at america250pa.org to be the first to know the talent, which will be announced later this month, and to sign up for tickets. It will be free, but it will be ticketed.
So the bottom line is the concert, and you're giving us the scoop. We're going to know who it is. I say we give a little try.
I got it.
I'll watch her face. You ask her questions.
It's Billy Joel, isn't it?
Elton John.
Lady Gaga. Listen, I think if you want to know, you have to sign up at america250pa.org, and you'll be the first.
It's Rachael and John, back to you, Jag Off Late Night. The segment that's been a part of the podcast for 10 years, always promoting local musicians, songwriters, and so we really appreciate you guys coming. So Sean and
having us.
And Tara,
yes.
right? So you guys are here to perform, but you just really did a okay job. You second place on our game show. So
you tried, yeah.
We tried. I was just happy I was able to speak words in front of the camera.
So it's a duo. You are a duo. We've seen you at Picklesburg. We actually typically are the ones judging the pickle juice drinking and eating and bobbing.
Yes.
But we've certainly seen you guys perform, and so you're known there. You have a bunch of different gigs. Where do you perform often? For us to know.
I would say Helltown and the Strip, we're there every month.
Okay.
Helltown and Export every month, Butler every month.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the regular rotation at Fatheads as well.
Okay.
And then if you're talking outside the city, we play breweries, restaurants, wineries, a bunch of places really.
And isn't that the beauty of Western PA, right? Mm-hmm. It's been so cool to see, just the, like everything, ebbs and flows of the music scene. And I feel like any nook or cranny that we can get in where we can have some live entertainment, we're doing that. Would you agree? Is it thriving as we're seeing it?
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Right after COVID, it seemed to make a very nice swing back towards, it
Live.
seems to be thriving, which is very nice. Yeah.
And your guys' thing is mixtape, right?
Yes.
So, talk about that. Yeah.
Yes, we do what we like to call a live acoustic mixtape experience. So it's a little bit of everything for everyone, decades, genres, just everything. We do the hits, and then of course we do sprinkle in our own here and there too, some originals.
And because we're cheap and we have no money here, we have to make you. We can't afford to license anything other than your original music, and we'll be hearing that in a minute here. But we want to tell everybody where to find you. But you have to answer our Rohrich Honda question of the day.
That's all you.
Right?
Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay.
She loves to talk on camera.
As you heard, it is draft season, right?
Okay.
So when you're riding around in the car and you roll your front driver's window down for a draft, right? Are you the person that has to roll down the back window, crack the back window, or no, you just leave the front window down?
Okay, I got this question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. She went like this.
Yeah, she got it.
20 years
Back-
of marriage, I know the
Back
answer.
is only important if the front ones aren't open. Okay,
Okay.
but if you do one side of the front, you have to equalize it on the other
Because it
side.
goes,
Yeah,
yes.
but every once in a while
Yes.
the kids will put down one in the back, and then it's
Right.
like,
This is a
yes.
common thing,
It's
and you're all
hilarious.
really
It's not
thinking
good.
about
Well
it.
done on the answer. All right, where does everybody find your music?
So you can find our schedule and everything mostly on Facebook. We are also on Instagram, but I'm kind of not the best at updating that. I'm trying to get better.
Okay.
You have a lot going on.
I'm waiting for my
We've had a
space to come.
website domain for years, but we haven't built it out yet. So we're working on it. Technology is not my strong suit, but yes.
Reminding everybody, this is your Jagoff Late Night, and we get to go out to see Allison Yee from Alloy 26 for our 412 dues before they come back and sing.
Hey everyone, this is Allison Yee at Alloy 26 in Nova Place with your 412 dues. Draft week is almost here, hard to believe, but if you're trying to figure out where to go, I'm going to make it really easy for you. Nova Place is the spot. We're hosting the draft weekend kickoff right here at Nova Place on Thursday, April 23rd from 12 to 6 p.m. It's completely free, family friendly, and open to the public. If you're headed down for the draft or just want to be where all the energy is, this is where you want to start your day. We're in a prime north side location, walking distance to everything with on-site parking, so you can actually enjoy draft day without the chaos. We're bringing a full outdoor vendor village by I Made It Market, more local brands, food trucks, drinks inside Federal Galley, and the biggest highlight, live music from Scott, Rob, and Greg of the Clarks. Yes, the Clarks. And yes, a free concert. Union Fitness will also be hosting combine style challenges so you can get in on the action too. High energy, great food, live music. This is Pittsburgh Draft Day done right. Now, if you're looking for something to do later that night, there is the Steel City Draft Night watch party with our neighbors over at the Priory Hotel. Ticketed event, legends Q&A, and the whole thing. But if you want the real kickoff, the place everyone's starting, and the best daytime atmosphere, Nova Place is where you want to be. And that's your 412 dues. We'll see you around Pittsburgh.
We are come September, and this is I Run. Watch the flames as they burn. Seasons pass and change without a word. I see reflections turn to stone. Rose gardens filled with thorns neglected for too long. Pool we swam in was too deep. Couldn't reach the bottom, though we jumped in with both feet. Now we're drowning in memories. Chains bound to pull us down as we struggle to break free. This house is built on shaky ground. Walls are shook and crumbled down. Buried in rubble, couldn't see the light. So I run, yeah, I run for my life. Tried to soldier on through the storm, but there was darkness round every corner turned. I vowed to fight till my last breath, but now a hollow shell, there's nothing left. This house is built on shaky ground. Walls are shook and crumbled down. Buried in rubble, couldn't see the light. So I run, yeah, I run for my life. Yeah, I run for my life.
shaky ground. Walls that shook and crumbled down. Buried in rough, couldn't see the light. So I run, yeah, I run for my life. I run for my life. Pick shattered pieces from the dust. White flag raised, I've had enough. Send the signal into the air. Come rescue me, please still be there. So I run, yeah, I run. Yeah, I run, I run. Now I run, yeah, I run. So I run, yeah, I run. I'm running for my life.
Woo! Very dramatic ending. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much. And so if you're looking for the, absolutely, if you're looking, there may not be a website, but you can certainly follow come September on all the social medias and make sure you see them at Picklesburgh, where we will be as well. What a small world. So super excited for that. Thank you so much for watching. We also want to thank Public Source, and please make sure you are following along with all the great stories that they have, as well as Scott Baker, 5 Generation Bakers, and Jennie Lee, and Cobbler World, because there's a great collab coming with the Jennie Lee Breakfast Nook. Thank you so much for following along.